Hello, this is Old School with WhatTheBuck.net with our Detroit Lions preview video for YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. This week we opened the season with Detroit Lions, the team that arguably kept us out of the playoffs last year, though if we had won any other games, I suspect it wouldn't have mattered either. And I'm not one of those guys who blames the one bad call for us missing the playoffs, because it shouldn't have been that close anyway. But this year is a whole new year. The Lions had been all but given a Lombardi trophy, it would seem, and the Bucs are getting no credit whatsoever, which is totally fine. That's probably a better way to go into the game regardless. Now, you can't talk about the Lions and Bucs without talking about Ndamukong Suh, who is a tremendous player, but he is but one man of four that are all really good on that defensive front line for the Detroit Lions. Now, in talking with Steve White, one of the things we were talking about is this defensive line is not tricky. They're going to come upfield with the edge, and they're going to push the pocket up. You've got to be able to negate that. So from a keys to the game perspective, there are some obvious things that we have to take a look at. First, we have to negate the Lions' speed on defense around the edge, because Trueblood's going to be a liability. Averill will run around him. We have to chip or slide and protect the quarterback. We don't want him to have to step up and run into Ndamukong Suh or Williams in the pocket. The other matchup everyone's talking about is Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Lakeith Talib gets a chance to go against him. He was not in the game last year. You don't beat Calvin Johnson one-on-one. He is going to win. One-on-one is open in the NFL, especially when you're a unique talent. But Coach Morris does a good job of scheming. He will have some more flexibility with a guy like Lakeith Talib on him. But the best way to keep Calvin Johnson off the stat sheet is to keep him off the field. You do that by being a little bit more methodical on offense. You don't have to be slow necessarily. You can intersperse some no huddle, but you want to keep the ball in our offense's hands and keep that time of possession battle way on our side. Coach Schwartz came out and said that conditioning for Florida Heat was of no use. It may be of use come Sunday when you get the chance to see what the humidity is down there, and if the Bucs can use guys like LeGarrette Blount to grind out the game, and I don't mean the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust way, but by just keeping that defense on the field and pounding on them for the entire game. The last key to the game is to let the dogs hunt. This defensive line has been retooled with draft picks. We've got some guys like Mike Bennett who are playing really good ball. I'm very excited as a Bucs fan about what they can do. We've got to let them go do it. Now, they've got to do what the old Bucs lines did, which is stop the ball carrier, the runner, on the way to the quarterback. Matt Stafford has an injury issue. I don't think he's soft. He's gotten hit really hard. I'd like to see us hit him really hard a lot more. So on the offensive MVP side, I think LeGarrette Blount's going to shine, not necessarily in the running game, which I don't know is ready to kind of get going yet. The offensive line hasn't looked particularly sharp in the preseason, but I see him catching the ball out of the backfield, and if you let LeGarrette get the ball in the second level, no one in that secondary wants to try and bring him down. I think that's going to be sort of the secret weapon, because he can catch the ball now, and they're going to have to scheme against it. The screen passes that the Lions will employ, we can leverage with LeGarrette Blount, and I think it'll go well. On the defensive side, I see Michael Bennett doing a good job this week and reminding people why Daquan Bowers is not able to beat him out for that spot yet. But that's a great luxury to have. I do see our Bucs winning. I always pick them to win, assuming that they do the things they need to do. This week I see a 24-13 victory, and I see a defensive score. Stafford, really good, sharp, young kid, but I do think that Coach Morris can scheme him into a mistake. And I see the Bucs coming out 1-0 and starting the year off well. Thanks for listening to the video. Hopefully you liked it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. And we'll actually be live from the tailgate on WhatTheBuck.net as well. If you want to tune in and see what tailgating in Tampa is like, tune in and participate remotely. Thanks again.